not going to follow that. That was amazing. So, my name is Megan. I've been a liberty activist for a few years. I'm also known as the hula hoop girl. You probably see me around hula hooping. Kind of what I do on the side. I'm also a writer. I do a lot of poetry, and I've kind of been alienated from a lot of poets in my local city because I do a lot of political poetry, which is, politics and poetry are two things which are both unpopular on their own. So combined, it's like kind of icky, but I'm just gonna go for it. I don't quite have a cohesive subject here. It started out about the drones, so the original title of this poem was Bug Splat, but it's now been I've kind of added on a few more things to it. So now it's Bug Splat, etc., 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 etc. So, through the moaning, hear the drones every morning as they home. Killing enemies abroad, though you think it would be odd to kill children from afar through a screen that sets the bar for disassociation from piddly third world nations. I'm not afraid to scream it because I see right through the shit, and you don't need another push to see Obama's just like Bush, or Reagan, or Nixon, or Lincoln, whoever. With imperial endeavors, no transparency, truth severs. Sometimes I think I'm dreaming, but it doesn't stop the screaming of the mother for her child whose remains have been defiled because they bombed the funeral too and their fair share of weddings through with flying death machines following orders. It's obscene. They're the murderers, not me. So I call them they, you see. Abandon this notion of we when referring to the monopoly. I declare my independence from a government so dense, striking churches, weddings, funerals, with human beings turned to numerals. With kill lists approved by the very few, to be carried out with tactics the mafia would never do. And my generation's only known war. Fighting every day, we know not what for. Looking to the future, we only see more. Our elders are robbing us, and from underneath the bus we howl, knowing we've been thieved. But we don't have the time to grieve. You see, the burden is on us to fix it. Sometimes we'd rather snitch. Sometimes we'd rather bitch about all the little petty things that divide us, instead of realizing how close we are to one another and the rest of the world and the seas. That when dispersant, like broken glass, slices fish fins in the Gulf, it's cutting us too, because we're the cleanup crew. And look around, my friends, because we've got a lot of work to do. And you can't depend on the swine to help us, but you can depend on the help to pork us. But sometimes my grievances can't be summarized in rhyming couplets. You see, I'm part of Generation Y, and we've been asking why for a very long time now. Some would say we've inherited a mess. We're called vain and narcissistic, lazy, unmotivated, attention-seeking yet attention deficit. Always connected to a device yet so disconnected from each other in reality. Well, it's kind of funny because we were promised the best. People forget we were promised peace. We were promised prosperity. And with all of these insults leveled at us, it begs the question, who raised us? But I'm not looking to play the blame game. No, I'm not looking to play the blame game. You see, by the end of the thread that we're hanging on, I believe that we can climb up that little thread and weave that thread into a quilt that can provide us with the privacy and security that we crave. And to borrow from the late Gil Scott-Heron, that quilt will not be televised.
Let's give a hand for Megan Lloyd.
I have such an appreciation for people who can put ideas into a poem that is something that we can understand. I mean, that's like being Hal of the 60s. So I applaud you, and I'm also a 5.
My wife and I have been spending our entire adult life in the hopes that our children would grow up to understand at least freedom advocate for it and be able to experience it for themselves and their children, our grandchildren.
Young lady, Generation Y, I appreciate the concepts about the attention deficit and stuff. I will go ahead and go for a 5 because the audience freaking loved it and I love it.
How many times do I have to say fuck to win this? Okay. Infighting. Fuck this divisiveness. Fuck calling each other names and saying you're not libertarian enough, you're not anarchist enough because you don't do this, and this. Listen, man, we're all in this together. We're fucking smarter than them, so why are we bitching about all of these little tiny things that divide us? We don't have to do that. We're smarter than them. These guys can't even keep track of their own scandals. They're fucking stupid evil. Stupid evil. Come on. Even if we disagree on the little things, because we have the big picture in mind. We have the same goals. We agree with like 99% of the same things. So let's focus on that 99% of the things that bring us together. Because we can do this. This is a revolution.
I'm judging and drunk, but I think we have a winner.
Thank you, everyone. You all are making this possible. I'm so happy. This was my first PorcFest. I've been wanting to come for years. I've been hearing about the magic, and I'm finally glad I could make it. So thanks so much.